What's up, y'all? Serjik here, and today I thought, since I thought I'd go ahead and make a video on me pretty much watching every single Serjik and Doki Doki ending and explaining and also basically telling you this and that, so that way, because I know some of you are probably confused on this series. I mean, to be fair, I made this series when I was 14. This is the new version of season 1 of Serjik and Doki Doki, but there was an old one that I made when I was 14. So if you're confused, don't worry, that's what this video is for. I'm gonna go ahead and recap absolutely everything on each ending. So without further ado, actually wait, before I get started, hi, my name is Serjik. I like to play video games and also do animations. If you're into that sort of thing, why not follow? Anyway, without further ado, let's get watching to this ending. Alright, edit. Alright, edit. Sorry. I had to turn the volume down. It was way too loud. But anyway, this is Serjik and Doki Doki Season 1's ending. So, I wanted it to end on a little bit of a happy note. I wanted to end on a happy note with Serjik turning into his dark form. I mean, Serjik pretty much going into a different timeline. Because, I don't know, I wanted it to end on a happy note. So for this ending, I wanted to also add action to it. I wanted it to be about action. I wanted to be pretty much the shonen of the gacha universe. Because usually gacha stories are all about romance and alphas, all that stuff. This story, however, is just about different sagas and Serjik going on different adventures and all that stuff. So right now, the reason I kind of personally don't like this fight as much, because I made this back then, I don't know, at the beginning of the year or something. I don't know, I made this last year probably. I have no clue. But the reason I don't like this fight as much is because it's a bit slow. And I notice you guys like fast fights, and I do too. I can see the appeal and why people like them. But what I was going for here is a comic type of thing, but the characters moving. I don't know. I wanted to go for a comic thing where the characters go slow and attack each other slowly. It's weird. So I can see why I went with this, but at the same time, I can also see why some people didn't like this fight as much. And also Serjik's lips. I don't like how they're white. But yeah. Also, I didn't like it. I didn't want it to come across as a fanfic thing, even though it came across exactly how that is. It came across like that all the way, with the kiss and everything. It's weird, okay? I made this when I was 14, okay? I wanted to copy exactly how the original went, but adding my own little spin on it, instead of making it exactly the same. And I did, but it came across as something you would see in a fanfiction with your OC and a character you had a crush on. Because, fun fact, originally, Serjik and Doki Doki was meant to be Serjik in the Doki Doki Literature Club universe. That's all it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be my OC inside Doki Doki Literature Club. That's all it was supposed to be. So originally, that Carl was supposed to be Monica, but then I kind of, like I said, I was 14 and I kind of went in all sorts of directions. Kind of wanted to go. I wanted to go crazy with this. I didn't even think that Serjik and Doki Doki would continue. I didn't even think I would like to continue it. But you guys started liking it, and then I started liking it, and then poof, I decided to keep going because I was like, hey, this series is kind of going somewhere. It's going somewhere. So yeah, this ending, if I were to rate it, I would rate it a 7 out of 10. Because it's like, it's okay for a fight, but the thing is, I mean, it's okay for a Serjik and Doki Doki ending. But the thing is, where I wanted to go with this was that I wanted this series to explain all the things that are happening and fill out all the plot holes. Like, I don't know, like, first off, what's happening? Okay, I wanted to fill off all that. So yeah, and also I didn't like this line in the ending because it came across so fanficish, and I don't like that. But okay, now I'm going to explain the confusing part. This part where where everything goes white, and all of a sudden Serjik is outside. So Kara has the powers to reset timelines and enter different worlds and stuff. So in order to reset Serjik's world, she had to kiss Serjik. I know, I'm sorry, but stay with me on this. Carla and Serjik's kiss changed the timeline. So Serjik is now in a different universe where he is older, where all the girls know him. He is the MC of their universe now. So yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, okay. That's pretty much what happens, right? So I'm probably gonna turn the volume down on this because I want to hear myself talk. I mean, I want to hear myself talk. I don't want to hear the music and me talking. You guys are gonna get confused on this, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. But yeah, I wanted this to come across as some sort of I don't know. I wanted this to come across as some sort of direction where it goes into timelines. So Serjik is now in a different universe where he knows the Doki Doki girls, he knows all the Dokis, such as Natsuki, Monica, all of that. And now Kara has gone missing till season 2 comes along. But yeah, so Serjik now, in this season, he now lives in a different universe where he knows the Dokis, and he's older now, which explains why his hair looks different. All of that. So yeah, that's what happens in this ending. Now for the second ending. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to say edit every time I edit something out or in. But now we are on season 2 of Serjik and Doki Doki. Sorry about that, but we are on season 2 of Serjik and Doki Doki's ending. So, I'm going to let this, I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down because I want you guys to hear me, so that way you guys can hear me clearly. But, yeah, with this ending, right, I wanted this to go in, back then when I was 14, I was thinking, okay, you know what would be really cool? If Serjik and Kara fuse. Because in this season, Kara comes back out of nowhere. I kind of didn't explain that, but I'll just add something random. I would say, Kara has the power to go in between different worlds, right? So she decided to live in this world, in the gacha universe. Because the gacha universe, in general, is different to any other cartoon universe. So she lives here to see Serjik again. The crazy part is she only lives here to see Serjik. She didn't expect to go on in this giant mission to go rescue Sayori and stuff. Because in this ending, right, Sayori gets kidnapped by a dark evil glitch called Dark Yuri. Now, when I say glitch, meaning she is a glitch. She literally was created to cause chaos. Dark Yuri, who was secretly Hawkeye, who you've seen before in Serjik and Doki's series before, if you watched it. If you watched the latest ending on on Rachel's Adventures, Hawkeye, who was secretly Dark Yuri. The only reason she looks like Yuri right now is because she decided to take the form of Dark Yuri to trick the others, to trick Serjik and the Dokis. But I can tell it didn't work. So right now, she kidnaps Sayori, and for some reason, I wanted Natsuki to sacrifice herself in this ending. I was like, hey, you know what would be really cool? If Natsuki, the tough one, decides to go sacrifice herself, even though that wouldn't make sense much. And then I also wanted Monica to do it. It was weird, okay? It was weird. I didn't know how to draw blood, so I just scribbled. I just scribbled all of it. I still don't know how to, so I decided I just want to add blood to my series. I won't add blood to my series. You guys, if she's stabbed, she's stabbed. I think you know. But yeah, also I wanted Serjik's old form from season 1 to come back. So there's that. And I also wanted to add fusion to this. As you can tell, that is deeply inspired by DBZ. So I wanted Serjik and Kara to fuse to create one being. So now that is Sora. I am sorry for the notifications. I thought I got rid of that, but yeah, as you can see, this is Sora, a mix of Kara and Serjik. I tried to bring this back in my later series and stuff, but it was hard because that's the thing, we really see them. But yeah, I wanted to create something deeply inspired by DBZ and add fusions and stuff to it. So yeah, you can tell it is deeply inspired by DBZ. But yeah, that's pretty much this ending. Oh wait, is that it? Oh, I don't know if that's it or not. But yeah, and then there was this weird part where I don't know. I'm gonna just pause it right here because this is gonna be weird. Okay, this is the part where it gets weird. So right, years later, I for some reason wanted to rush this and act like Serjik and Kara had a chemistry, so they end up having kids in the next few years. And Like I said, I was 14. I know. I'm literally creating something that I didn't want to create. A fanfic with my character and a character I had a crush on back then. Like, oh my gosh. But that's okay because I'm gonna still go on. Of course, I'm gonna still go on with it. That Serjik and Kara are still married to this day. I'm gonna go on with it, but in the future, right? If I want to create video games for Serjik and Doki Doki, because I plan on creating games and stuff in the further future. I plan to be a developer. I'm gonna change Kara to someone else. See, that's the thing. Now I'm gonna add lore to this, because Kara is not exactly how you see her. She may look like Kara from Undertale and all that, but that is not Kara. That is a whole different person. This person is pretending to be Kara from Undertale, which we'll find out who she really is in the further future of Serjik and Doki Doki. Trust me, it's all gonna come together, and let's just say you're gonna like the mini movie I'm coming up with. But until then, please check out Serjik and Doki Doki, Rachel's Adventures. Check out all of that, because I think those series are pretty cool. Sure, they are ridiculous, but they're entertaining to me, and I think 100 of you people that watch. But yeah, anyway, let's go to the next ending, because this ending, pretty much what I wanted to do with this, I wanted Serjik to get kidnapped. I wanted the girls and Serjik to go rescue her. They defeat Dark Yuri, who is secretly Hawkeye. All of that. Like I said, Hawkeye is someone you see in Rachel's Adventures, the recent series. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. Edit. Okay, so welcome to Serjik and Doki Doki Season 3. Now, this one in Season 3 is not, it is canon to the series, but at the same time not canon. I don't know how to explain it. So with this ending, I wanted to reset everything. I wanted to start over. And in order to do that, instead of just saying I'm resetting the series, I'm going to add it to the story where where Kara calls Dark Serjik, the regular Serjik's dark evil clone, to reset the timeline when Monica almost got stabbed, or Monica was about to get stabbed. So, as they reset the timeline, I wanted Kara to go get Yuri, because I noticed Yuri wasn't much in this series. She barely pops up. So, I wanted her to pop up in this one to show that she is in the series, and to show that where Yuri's been all this time. So, in order to show that, I wanted to show exactly where she's been. She's been in Dark Yuri's mind, in a literal prison. She's been in Dark Yuri's mind, being tormented by Dark Yuri. Basically, that's a clone of Dark Yuri. The real Dark Yuri is in the middle fighting Sora right now. So, but what goes on in this mind, since Kara made that little change, everything's different. So, now that this random person named Phantom shows up, like I said, I made this when I was 14. So, Phantom's supposed to be this person that pops up randomly and saves Yuri from from her troubles, basically. So, yeah, but yeah, I wanted to end this off with a happy ending. And it ends off with Dark Yuri being defeated. She's gone. She's killed. For now. We all know she's never dead. But yeah, as you can see, thanks to Kara making that one difference, saving Monica caused Yuri to be saved. So you're wondering how Yuri got trapped. She got trapped by Dark Yuri. Dark Yuri trapped her to trick her friends. She trapped Dark Yuri and took the form of Yuri so that she can trick the other Dokis. Oh no, wait, is that the end? That's the end. Whoa, okay, let's pause there. Okay, and is that a notification? I thought I turned that off. I'm so sorry. But yeah, with this ending, like I said, this one was a short one, but I do like it. If I were to rate it, it would be a 2 because, like I said, with Season 3, back then when I was 14, I feel like I was going with this too fast. I felt like Serjik and Kara having kids already. Like it's only been 2 seasons. It's only been 3 seasons. I'm like, nah, that's too fast. Let's slow down a bit and let them have their chemistry together instead. So they're gonna have a bit more chemistry in Season 4, which we'll go to in a minute. Hold on. Edit. Okay, so now we're taking a look at Serjik and Doki Doki Season 4. final ending. Right, like I said, we're taking a look at all the endings in Serjik and Doki Doki. So here's season 4 of it. With this ending, I'm gonna let this play while I talk, so that way you guys have something to watch while I speak. So with this ending, I wanted my cousin to be in the series. So that person in the green, his name is Hawkzilla. I call him Hawk, but his name is Hawkzilla. Hawkzilla used to have a YouTube channel, because like I said, Hawkzilla is based off of my cousin who had a YouTube channel. So with him, I wanted him to be the bad guy, and even my cousin Hawk wanted to be the villain too. So as you can tell, me and him became rivals. In this ending, we became rivals. From right here, this is where the rivalry began. We became rivals. Serjik showed off his new form, and Hawkzilla will show off his form in the next few minutes. Right now, he thinks he doesn't need a form to beat Serjik in his angel form. This is when Serjik's angel form first pops up. But yeah, as you can tell, Hawkzilla is not having the best of luck beating Serjik in his new form. I wanted it to be like, it'd be like this. It'd be like DBZ, where every new transformation they become even more invincible than the other. So Hawkzilla, showing that he used to be an angel as well. Of course they start fighting, because like I said, Hawkzilla is supposed to be based off of the angel of it was his angel, the angel of death. That's what it's called, angel of death. That's what it's supposed to be based off of. But as you can tell, it's, oh no, oh crap, that was so fast. All right, we'll just pause. Like I said, it was it was weird, but like I said, Serjik and everybody else that can transform to an angel is based off of an angel from I don't know, from what I looked up anyway. I looked up all different types of angels and stuff that exist. So yeah, and yeah, I wanted to end with Serjik's cousin being defeated, all that stuff. Because like I said, some of these people I add in my series are based off of my actual friends, which I didn't like. Now I'm thinking about it, I kind of didn't want, because I know I'm gonna have people come to me and say, "Man, why do I have to die in this series? Man, why would I do this? Or man, why?" Like that's the thing. I don't want to do that, but I still sort of do it. You'll find out in Rachel's Adventures, but yeah, I wanted this to end with Serjik winning, of course, because he's the hero. He always will win. So yeah, as you can tell, Serjik blew up his cousin. His cousin is not dead, because angels can't really die. They're kind of invincible. So Hawk kind of just teleported, because angels can teleport. Not very far, but they can teleport. And of course Serjik doesn't kill, so he just let him go. So that's pretty much what happens. And you're probably figuring out the reason why Serjik and Hawk are even fighting. I can explain that. Serjik is fighting Hawk because Hawk wants to fight Serjik. Hawk is fighting Serjik because he found out that he's not real. He lives in this universe where he's going meta, pretty much. He's going meta. He's breaking the fourth wall. He finds out he's in a show. He's having a little meltdown. He wants to beat up Serjik because he thinks if he beat up Serjik, then the Serjik and Doki Doki series will stop. It will stop. It will literally shut down. He thinks everything will shut down. And little does he know that doesn't work, because I'm the creator and I'm the one who can control what happens in the universe. But Hawk doesn't know that. Like I said, the show gets meta, or this season gets meta, when Hawk finds out he's in a show and he wants to only kill Serjik because he wants Serjik and Doki Doki to stop. You're probably wondering how he finds out. Well, let's just say you'll find out later on. Anyway, on to the next season. Edit. Okay, so I'm back, and welcome to Phones Come to Life. Now, you're probably thinking that Phones Come to Life has nothing to do with Serjik and Doki Doki, but if you go to Serjik and Doki Doki seasons, the playlist, right? It's a playlist. I have a playlist full of that has all the seasons of Serjik and Doki Doki all put together, and everything in that playlist is canon. So this is canon. Right now, it's pretty much this. I wanted Phones Come to Life to focus on Serjik and Carl's chemistry. Right now, that's what it's doing. And in this ending, I wanted to focus on Carl and Serjik together. So I wanted this to have Serjik getting up and stabbing cute Anna Binks, who cute Anna Binks is based off of an old person I used to talk to. And yeah, I didn't really like this Phones Come to Life too much. I was so excited back then, but I didn't like it too much because it was so slow, and I pretty much what I was going for was a comic thing. Yeah, but anyway, here's a fun fact. Cute Anna Binks, right, was still in the series back then. See, cute Anna Binks wanted to be in my series. She wanted to be in all of them. So here's what I thought of when I was 14. Kara does a move called recreation, where she literally recreates cute Anna Binks to be in the near future. But I'm gonna pause here because I want to explain this part too, right after I'm done explaining this one. So she recreates cute Anna Binks to be in the future. She ends up being in the future, and guess who cute Anna Binks ends up being recreated as? Rachel. Yes, serjik's daughter ends up being cute Anna Binks. But that was back then when I was 14. So cute Anna Binks is no longer like in the series like that. She's not Rachel, because back then that's what I was going for. I wanted my friend cute Anna Binks to be in my series from here on out. But I've been thinking I kind of don't want to base too many people off of my friends here, because then that wouldn't leave any room for me to come up with anything original. So cute Anna Binks and Rachel are two different people. Cute Anna Binks, she's gone. She was defeated by Kara and recreated to be somewhere else. So that's what I was trying to say. Cute Anna Binks was supposed to be recreated as Rachel, but I kind of didn't want to add her to my series as much anymore, because that would leave no room for me to come up with anything original. And you gotta take note of this. I was making this with Gachaverse. So yeah, because this is back then when Gachaverse was out and popular. And now for this scene. Okay, so for this scene, I thought, you know what, they had enough chemistry, and they're done with college now. They passed college. And even though I didn't show much of them being in college, they had enough college time to be out of college. So now that they graduated college, Serjik and Kara are official adults. And Serjik, being weird, decided to go down and propose to Kara, and Kara accepts, because of course she does. Of course she does. I made this series when I was 14, so of course I make the person I had a crush on back then accept the proposal. Of course I do. So now Kara and Serjik are married. Years and years later, yes, Serjik has gray hair because I wanted to show him being old, but Serjik's hair doesn't really can change color. It can change color because he's an angel. It doesn't matter what. He can change his hair. Kara, look. It gets I'll explain. I promise. It's all coming together. Because Kara is old. She's like 40. She's like 40 years old. All of that. Serjik is also 41 years old. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to happen that's what I wanted to happen in this ending. I wanted it to end on a happy note, to show that Serjik doesn't really kill people. So he wanted Kara to do so. He wanted to bring cute Anna Binks back to life. So Kara did. She used recreation, a move which she's always had, and I totally didn't just add that when I was little. But yeah, she used recreation, an ability to recreate somebody, and which means she'll come back to life in the future. So that happened. That's what happened. Anyway, now for the next season. Edit. Okay, so welcome to season 5 of Serjik and Doki Doki. So this one I personally like, because with season 5, what I wanted to do was I wanted it to be as long as kind of DBZ. Of course, I didn't go along with it because I was running out of ideas. So it was 41, and you gotta admit, out of all the seasons, this one has to be the longest one. What I wanted to go for in this season was I wanted to have sagas. Like for example, like DBZ had the Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, Cell Saga, stuff like that. And in this series, I wanted to have different sagas. So of course there are different stories and different bosses. Is that what I want to call it? Different final bosses that were coming through. Like some of them were mini bosses that will lead up to the final boss of this series. I'm calling them bosses because I don't know what else to call. I don't know what else to call them. So in this ending, I wanted it to be sort of long, but good. I don't know if it's good because, like I said, I made this when I was like 14 or 15. But yes. So I wanted Serjik and Bolt, who, if you don't know who Bolt is, it's a person that got introduced in Phones Come to Life. Bolt is Serjik's friend, who ends up fusing with Serjik to fight King Satan. If you don't know, King Satan, it was just King Satan made his son Jeremy fuse together, so that way they can fight. That way they can take over the world, because that's what all they want to do. At the end of the day, King Satan wants to rule the world. But of course, Serjik or Sir Alt, because it's Bolt and Serjik fused, they won't do that. They won't let that happen. So I wanted to end this with, I don't know, I wanted to end this on a mysterious but happy note. So what happens is Serena, Serjik's gender bend, because if you don't know who Serena is, she's pretty much just this. Hold on, my dog farted. What the heck, Polo? Alright, edit, I'm back. So I wanted to end this with Serena stabbing King Satan for no reason. Like, people are gonna get confused and say, why did she do that? And I'm gonna pause it here because it's about to get to the next scene. So what happened is Serena stabbed King Satan because she's hiding something. Because if you don't know, Serena is not from Serjik's world. While she pops up here and there, she's from a whole different dimension. She's actually from a different series that's also mine, which is an old series that you'll probably find somewhere. I'll link it in the description below. You'll see Serena in that series, so trust me, she'll pop up. But yeah, I wanted to end it with Serena doing some hiding. I wanted to end it with Serena indicating that she is hiding something. Because why would she stab King Satan? It would make no sense because King Satan was about to explain why he did all of this. So yeah, now that I'm done explaining that, let's go to the final part. So you're probably wondering, Serjik, why did you're gonna see, why did everything go white right here? You're gonna see. It's gonna happen. Hold on. Just give it a few minutes. I made this still slow for some reason. Okay, right here. Why did everything go white? And why is Serjik and Rachel sitting right there? Serjik accidentally exploded the universe. He accidentally made he accidentally made the planet explode with his overwhelming power. So now I wanted to end it right here where Rachel and Serjik, daughter and son, sit right there on heaven, wherever they are in the clouds. Oops. Oh, okay. Talking. I wanted to end right there where Serjik and Rachel talk. Because if you don't know, if they're in heaven, then that means Rachel is dead. The planet exploded. It is dead. That's how I wanted to end it. I want to end it with everything dead, except for Serjik and Rachel. I wanted them to talk it out. I don't know. I wanted them to talk. Daughter and son have their final moments before Serjik has to go away. Before Rachel has to go away too, because you know that's how it be. When you're dead, you go away. That's how I wanted it to be. But yeah, if I were to rate this ending, I would rate it an 8 out of 10, I guess, because this season was fun to make. I got to have my friends in it. I got to make whatever plot I wanted, and I got to add whatever I wanted. So yeah, this season was the best one to me. But yeah, anyway, time for the next season. Edit. Okay, so now we're now we're on the final season of Serjik and Doki Doki. It's not really the end, but it's the end for Serjik himself. It's the end of his adventures, I guess. So, this ending, I wanted to end on an action note. I wanted this to be full of action. So, what happens is Serjik goes asks his friends for help. Serjik is overconfident. He never really asks for help. But when he does, that means something bad is actually happening. So, if you don't know, all those people right there have the power to transform to angels. Because Serjik gave them all those powers. He decided to transfer all of his energy and power to them. Pieces of his power to them. So now they can all transform to angels. So, all the angels they transform to are based off of an actual angel. Like, for example, I don't know, Suri is based off of the angel of fire. I think that one exists. And yeah, stuff like that. So they all transform to angels, right? Same with Rachel. If you don't know, there was an episode where Rachel finally found out she can transform to an angel too. She is Serjik's daughter, so of course she can. So, if you don't know, that's Hawkeye, aka Dark Yuri. Remember, Hawkeye took the form of Dark Yuri to trick the others, but I can tell that didn't really work, so she showed her off her real form, which is Hawkeye. So, what happens here, I wanted to end on an action note. I wanted to show you that it's not really over. It is over for Serjik, but not for Serjik and Doki's world. Like, it's not over for their world. So what happens is they all fuse, they fly up to the space. I said the space. They fly up to space and fight Hawkeye. So, that's it, Serjik, but that's not their name. Their name is Shock. I changed their name back then, and I don't know why I picked that one, but they end up fighting. I actually like the way I made these gacha fights. I mean, it's a good fight gacha-wise, because we all know with gacha animations, in order to make 3D animations, you gotta work harder than what I'm doing. So I do plan to, because if you don't know, in the further future, when I plan to become an animator, and I want to make 3D models of Serjik and all the gacha people. So when I do, I plan to remake Serjik from the ground up. So that's what I plan to do. That's the plan. That's the future of Serjik and Doki Doki. But yeah, I wanted them to go giant. They transform to giants. Serjik shoots a blast at them, a blast that literally like shrinks them to size, or no, a blast that will usually explode something. But of course, Hawkeye is a spirit, so she's immune to blasts and stuff like that. Which is why you didn't see her explode to anything, unlike what happened to Hawk. So, yeah. Also, if you don't know, Serjik doesn't kill people. So, some part of Shock some part of Shock said, let Hawkeye go, because I don't know. I feel like Serjik, for some reason, he thinks everybody is good. He believes everyone is good. So, of course, he believes in Hawkeye is good too. We just gotta find out why she's bad. Which you'll find out. You'll end up finding out what happens if you watch Serjik and Doki Doki Rachel's Adventures. But yeah, I wanted to end this on a good note, because I like to end my series with something good, at least. So yeah. Anyway, this one was pretty short, but on to the side stories now. We're going to the side stories, which I'll explain what those are in a minute. Alright, edits. Now we're on to the side stories. If you don't know what those are, they're side stories. They literally don't explain anything about Serjik, but about the side characters of Serjik and Doki Doki. So this one's about Lucy. She's the child of I'm trying to think, Bolt and Monica. I know it's getting weird, but stay with me on this. So in Unlucky Lucy, of course she was adopted and all that stuff. First she started off with a parent, but that parent was abusive, so now she ends up running away and finding an adoption center. She finds an adoption center, and of course with these two people, Earth-chan, yes, she's canon. Everything in Serjik and Doki Doki is canon. So, Earth-chan and Sun. If you don't know who Earth-chan is a meme who I have put in my series to be canon. But yeah, if you know who Skylar is, that's Skylar. The person with the purple hair, his name is Skylar. So, Skylar is based off of my friend that I used to talk to. So, because my friend wanted to be in the series too, so yeah, so I added her in, and Skylar and Lucy end up being friends. throughout the series. And in the final ending for Unlucky Lucy, Skylar ends up leaving Lucy. Not because she wants to, but because Lucy doesn't want her to not have parents. For some reason, I didn't think that Earth-chan could just adopt both of them, but I guess Earth-chan didn't want two jobs. He wanted one. But then here's a funny scene I wanted to add. Bolt the Hedgehog comes in and adopts Lucy. So yeah, because Bolt said that. Because Monica said, "Hey, Bolt, can we get do you think we can take care of a child?" Man, I wish I had one. And of course Bolt says, "Oh crap, I forgot I said I'd get one." And of course he goes and gets a child. He adopts one. That's what happens. I wanted this to end also on a good note, because I like to end my stories on a good note. So Lucy ends up getting adopted by Bolt. And for those of you who stayed during the end of Unlucky Lucy, I put a post-credit scene where Hawkeye, yes, back then, Hawkeye even knew who Lucy was. So she gave her a drawing that shows how she's going to look in the future. Yes, made by a friend. Yes. So that's what. So she shows that's what she's going to look like in the future. And then in another post-credit scene, I end up, hold on, I was going to show it. It's going to end up showing... Yeah, it shows what happens afterwards to Skylar. Skylar ends up getting adopted by Earth-chan, and I assume, and I think Sun, because like I said, I made this back then too. It was a long time ago. So she ends up getting adopted by Sun and Earth-chan. Sun goes away because, you know, he's the father, so he goes to get milk. he leaves, and Skylar, and you know, basically what Earth-chan wanted, basically she wanted just a little sister, but of course she can't really have that. She just wanted to be a sister, but she ends up being a mom. But she tells Skylar, "Hey, I would just be your sister or something, all right?" And yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, because she doesn't want to be called mom, because she thinks she's old when you call her that, even though she's like as old as our Earth is now. So yeah, so I wanted this to end with Skylar and Earth-chan being sisters, and showing how Skylar even knew who Earth-chan was, because you end up seeing. You end up seeing who you end up seeing Skylar further in the future in skits and serjik and Doki Doki shorts and stuff. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to the next side edit. Okay, quick edit, I should say. So, okay, now this one. Let's rewind all the way back to 2018. A time where we didn't have to wear a mask, a time when we got to meet each other, where we took 2018 for granted. Pretty much, we took 2018 and 2018 and 2019 for granted. I really wish I could go back to those. But anyway, I'm not trying to remind you of the time where we had to stay in our house for the rest of our lives. I'm trying to remind you that I made this another side story. This is back then when Gachaverse happened, right? So what happens here is that Serjik and Little Zilla, which means this is just Hogzilla as a little boy, he ends up being in, I don't know, 10th or no 6th or 5th. So yeah, right now what happens is Dark Z, which if you don't know, that's a fairy that they end up meeting with in the series. Dark Z shows little Z what happens to what happened in his past and stuff, because Hogzilla has amnesia. He doesn't remember who he is until Hasina, who ends up revealing, Hasina pops up and saves Little Z. So what happens is Little Zilla ends up finding out that Hasina is gonna show it. Yeah, she's his ancestor. Even though in the series they don't show her. I don't show her for some reason. I don't show you that's the thing that happened. I totally didn't add this when I was little, and I totally didn't add this out of the blue. But oops, wait, okay, I better pop it. Oh, okay, it's still gonna keep going. So what happens is, I wanted this to end on a dark note because I was in the middle of watching Walking Dead. Oh God, ew, no, I don't want to see my nope. But yeah, what happens is Little Zilla who is Hawkzilla, but a little kid, ends up. He didn't kill Hasina. Dark Z did, but Hawkzilla left. He ended up leaving her just to die. That's his ancestor, though. So I made this when I was 14, guys. Go easy on me, man. I don't know how to make sense of some of this, but I'm trying my best here. For y'all that are new to the channel, and for those of y'all that are old to the channel that have been here. So yeah, this was a bit of a short one, and if you couldn't, let me summarize. Let me recap some of the things I said. Okay, so Dark Z, a fairy, comes in, freaking takes Hawk or Little Zilla and Hasina to avoid. Hasina tries to beat up the fairy, the Dark Fairy. Dark Fairy ends up ends up telling the truth about who Little Zilla really is. Because remember, Little Zilla has amnesia. He doesn't really remember who he is as much. Because he has, I don't know, something in his past. There's like a door blocking a secret memory. So, thanks to Little Zilla finally finding out the truth about himself, and for some reason getting mad at Hasina for hiding it, he ends up getting mad at Hasina. That's what happens. He ends up getting mad at Hasina because Hasina's been hiding the truth from him. Yeah. That's what happens. I know it's still a bit confusing. I know I made this when I was 14. I don't know how to make sense of it. But remember, this is another side story. A side story is basically an origin story, or just a little story for that explains the character of a side character. That's what it is. It explains a side character's origin story. You know, stuff like that. So it has nothing to do with serjik and Doki Doki because it's a side story. I wanted to make a side story to expand upon serjik and Doki Doki's world, to show that it's not just about serjik. Because when you make a series, you don't want it to just be about your main character. You want it to be about your other characters, to show some variety. Yeah. So anyway, next, let's go to the next thing. Edit. Okay, so now this will be the final ending we look at today, the recent one, Rachel's Adventures. So, with this one, but I wanted to go with this one. My dog farted. Hold on. Goodness. Okay, back to what I was saying. But I wanted to go with this one is that serjik almost gets mad, and when serjik gets mad, he transforms to his evil side. Dark serjik, who you've seen, and I don't know, you've seen him in season 1, season 2. You've seen him in 2 seasons. But of course, he's an angel. He's not allowed to get mad like that. So he transforms to his angelic self. I gave him a new look. His angel form has a new look. But yeah, and there's Hawkeye. Like I said, you've seen this is Hawkeye, the one in the purple. You've seen her before. All that stuff. She's the villain. She ends up stabbing Rachel, and she disappears. Serjik comes here and heals Rachel. Because remember, in season 5, he actually knows how to heal. Serjik learned a new move. He learned how to heal. So Serjik heals Rachel. He brings her back to life, but at the cost, he ends up throwing half of his soul into her, thus making him half alive. I didn't want to really spoil too much like that to you, but I decided I'm going to say it anyway, because you're going to end up knowing this stuff when it comes around, when the project comes around. Oh my god, serjik, don't spoil anything, please. But anyway, so serjik and Crystal end up teaming up. But here's a fun fact. This is Rachel's adventures. So I actually meant for Rachel to be alive and for Crystal to be dead. But I, for some reason, thought that was too dark, because Crystal is 11 and Rachel is 16. So I thought it would be too dark if Crystal died, even though she's super powerful. And I'm not saying she's invincible, but she is super powerful. She has her dad's strength, who is also super powerful. So yeah, see, that's the reason I didn't like this ending too much, because I wanted Rachel to be alive and Crystal to be dead. But yeah, for some reason back then I thought, hey, you know what? Let's make Crystal come to back to. I mean, let's get Crystal to team up with Serjik, and yeah, as you can see, I made it a little fight scene. I wanted to make a longer fight scene, but the thing is, with gacha you're so limited. It's so hard to make a fight scene. I mean, not anymore since I learned the power of tweening, which, you know, stay tuned for future series. But yeah. As you can see, I wanted this to end on a fusion, because usually in Serjik and Doki Doki fashion, in the ending, Serjik and his friend, or anybody really, end up fusing to fight the powerful opponent. And the opponent they're fighting is Hender. Hender is a fusion between Hawkeye and Lander. Lander, if you don't know, Lander is from season 5. You'll end up seeing him in season 5, because he has been in the series before. He just looks different because he's been training, all that stuff. So right now we're getting flashbacks to the same thing happening, as Shock and Hawkeye end up fighting each other. And then Hender ends up remembering that this has happened before, except it looks different. And this time, this time Hender tries to fight, and this time not have the same thing happen again. I really like the effects I added, because I feel like the effects make the fight a bit more alive. Because like I said, gacha, you're limited, so it's hard to make a good fight. Exactly. But at least I managed to make this look kind of good, right? This looks kind of decent for a fight. Sure, it's not the best or the worst, but it's okay, right? I think it's decent. So that's what I made. I added more effects and stuff. I wanted to make this fight. I wanted to fill this with action, because Rachel's Adventures is a spin-off where it explains about Rachel, Serjik's daughter. So yeah, as you can see, they end up fighting and stuff, and they end up unfusing. And I wanted to end with the conclusion, where Lander disappears and Hawkeye finally gets defeated and arrested. It even shows it in this series. Wow, it's gonna show it in the series. If you guys watched it, if you guys OG, you watched it. But yeah, as you can see, I wanted to end this with Rachel kind of recapping some stuff. And yeah, I ended it with Rachel kind of being scared because that she might hurt her sisters again. So she wants to kind of, I don't know, she wants to have more adventures, but somewhere else where her family is not. Because she thinks if she moves away, then danger won't follow her. So she'll be able to go on more adventures without being in any trouble. So yeah, so Rachel ends up leaving the academy, because if you don't know, Rachel and her sisters get invited to this academy where you get to train, upgrade your powers, learn more things about Serjik and all other angels and stuff like that. That's pretty much what happens in Rachel's adventure. She gets invited to an academy. She ends up, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, I know what happens. She gets invited to this academy, and right now she's left the academy. At the end of the day, she left the academy because she decided that she wants to go somewhere else where she feels more free, and not where her parents and stuff are. Because she feels like if she stays with her parents or she stays with her sisters, something bad is gonna happen. Because she has stress. She stresses about everything sometimes. While she may not look like it, she stresses about everything. So what happens is, ooh, wait, it's about to end? Oh, I better pause it. But yeah, she gets stressed about everything. So she ends up leaving to go visit a friend in Tokyo, because in season 2 that's where they moved to. I'm not going to spoil what season 2 is going to be like, but let's just say it's going to be way better than season 1. Okay, so much better. Like, you guys won't even believe what's going to happen. But yeah, so this will be the end of me looking at Serjik and Doki Doki endings. I thought I wanted to go ahead and start the year off with me looking with the reaction video and me pretty much recapping what happens in Serjik and Doki Doki. For those of you that are kind of confused, and I know my explanations of this series aren't as good, and you guys probably still are kind of confused, but don't worry. All I can say is you're not missing out on much. But if you do want to know what's if you do want to not be that confused, then yeah, check out the rest of the series. Check out Rachel's Adventures. To me, that's probably my best series I've made. That's probably the best one. I recommend you check out this series because all the other seasons, they're okay. I remember I made them when I was 14, so yeah. If you want to check out the ones I made when I was 14, I'll link all the seasons in the I'll link all the seasons in the description below. Because I have a whole playlist of each season. I even made another playlist where all the seasons are combined. So, yeah, if you are new, subscribe, and if you've been here, comment. Let's see if we can make this video hit 10 likes. Because if you like these type of videos, if you like gacha videos or video games, why not follow? My dog farted again. Oh my god. So, I'm gonna end this on a stinky note. Bye. I'll see you guys next time.